Okay, so just like the previous video, I'm going to give you a complicated function like this and then ask you to sketch it. So I will do the first one and then you can do the next one. So I'm asking you to sketch this complicated function, but you have no idea what this looks like. So we start out with a simple function and then slowly transform it into this. So which of the following graphs do we use in order to start out with? So looking at this is like 2 to the power of a bubble here. So we should be starting out with this function here. So let's start out with this one here. Start out with f of x equals 2 to the power of x. So that will look like this. That will look like something like this. So we start out with this. See this x here and see this bubble here. Our next transformation should be x plus 5. So our next transformation should be x plus 5. So what that means is we would put this into this x here. So that would then become 2 to the power of x plus 5. Now we have no idea what this graph looks like, but we do understand this transformation. This transformation would drag everything across by 5 in this direction. It's always opposite of this. Okay, anyway, we've got to drag it across by 5. So it will look something like this. It just moves further out. So this is 1 here. So you drag it across by 5 like this. So this is now over here somewhere. So it will look like something like this. And then so that's this thing taken care of. This thing here. We still need to move everything up by 3. So our next transformation should be the previous graph. So it would be the previous graph, and then you add 3 in order to obtain this 3 here. You would add 3. So what that means is the previous graph, which would be 2 to the power of x plus 5, and then that's the previous graph, and then you add 3. Add 3. So we have no idea what this looks like, but we do understand this transformation. This transformation says take your previous graph and then move everything up by 3. So looking at our previous graph, move everything up by 3. So it will look something like this. It will look something like that. Hang on, it will look something like this. Like that. So let me illustrate in Desmos. So we start out with this, and then we will move on to this, and then we will move on to this. I will show you what I mean. Hang on. Let me jump to Desmos. So you start out with 2 to the power of x. So 2 to the power of x. 2 to the power of x. So that will look like this. So this is 1 here. And then you've got to move it across by 5. So this thing here would move across by 5. So it would be 2 to the power of x plus 5. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? Hang on. X plus, hang on, x plus 5. Ooh, hang on. So, hang on, plus, no, you got to use brackets. So, wait up. So, it would be bracket x and then plus 5, close bracket. So now you can see this point here is 1. It gets moved across to 5 here. -4, -5, -6. So you can see it's been dragged across by 5. So our next transformation would be this thing here. We would need to add 3. So going back to Desmos, punch this in. I'm just going to copy and paste. Copy this, Control C, and then Control V, and then plus 3. So you can see that this point here moves up by 3. So it was at a height of 1, and then it gets moved up. Well, I hope you can see that. Let me just zoom out. But that's what it's doing. So you get a rough idea of what's going on here. So now it's your turn now. So a complicated function, your job is to sketch it. So your job is to sketch this function here, but you have no idea what this looks like. So start out with a simple version, one of the graphs here, and then slowly transform it into this. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, see this, you're taking absolute of the bubble. So start out with this function here. So you start out with f of x equals absolute value of x. So that will look like this. That will look like this. And then see this x here, this is like your bubble here. So your next transformation should be minus x minus 3. So you apply this transformation, f of x minus 3. So you would put this x minus 3 into this bubble here. So that would then become absolute x minus 3. Now you have no idea what this looks like. But you do understand this transformation moves everything across by 3 in the positive direction. It's always opposite of this thing here. So you move it across by 3. So now just label this as 3. So that's this thing here is this thing here. So we've taken care of this. We now need to drag it down by 2. So your next transformation would be get the previous graph and then take away 2. So get the previous graph and then take away 2. So that will then give you, well, the previous graph was this, x absolute of x minus 3, and then you take away 2. Now you have no idea what this looks like, but you do understand this transformation. This transformation says get the previous graph, drag it down by 2. So get the previous graph and then drag it down by 2. So label this as minus 2. So that would be here, and then it will look like this. So now jump to Desmos and punch this in, and punch this in, and you should slowly see the transformation. So hang on, jump to Desmos. Let me clear this, clear this, and delete this. Okay, so it was, you start out with absolute value of x. So ABS bracket. How do you do absolute? I can't remember. Hang on. Absolute is ABS x. Okay, so how do I do absolute? I can't remember. ABS of x. Oh yeah, that's it. ABS of x. So that will look like this, and then what? And then we have to move it across by. We have to move it across by 3. We have to move it across by 3. So wait there. So back to Desmos. ABS bracket x minus 3. So you can see it has moved it to the right by 3. 3. And then the next one was to drag it down by 2. So copy and paste. Control C. Control V. And then take away what? 2 was it? Take away 2, yeah. Take away 2. So take away 2. So you can see we've dragged it down by 2, and the coordinates of the lowest point is 3, -2. Okay, so use Desmos to help you in your work. All right.